I say that with quotations because actually rent has gone down in those areas by a significant amount.
Dramatic amount.
Yeah, like 10% roughly. So 10 to 50, 5?
No. Oh, sorry. That's right.
Oh, 20%?
Yeah, you're in the 20
Wow.
to 20. I think I
That's
saw an
not
article the other day. The first, like the highest note I had seen from a year-over-year loss was 35%.
Whoa.
So far. But it's, I mean, I get this. We've had a God knows how many like new client intro calls because so much of the content that Elevate has been putting out in the past pre-COVID is so much more geared towards freehold and away from
condo.
Away from condo, right? So now that like condos are actually getting shit kicked and freehold is still doing fine or spectacular, people are like seeing the content and they're like, "Oh wait, this came out pre-COVID. Like you guys are actually right about this one."
Yeah, you guys
knew what you were doing the whole time. Obviously, we didn't know a pandemic was coming, but like you can look at an asset and say, is it underpinned by strong fundamentals, like investment fundamentals? And all these condos that were being like hacked together by Airbnb, which wasn't even like a legit use for a lot of the properties, was like, okay, well, I don't know what's going to happen, right? But like if the worst thing happens, you're probably in trouble, right?
Yes.
And a lot of those people right now are in trouble.
Well, sorry to interrupt, but if something's too good to be true, so a lot of Airbnb rentals, for example, if you're making like $4,000 or $5,000 of rent a month on like a 1-bedroom, 400 square foot condo, there's definitely a catch. It's the risk reward.
Somebody was going to fight back, but
something was going to happen. It's not just the new regulations, which are a lot more now, a lot harder to get by, but it's the fact that something like this happens and your whole business goes out the window and then you have to carry all of a sudden. And so, you know what, I think like the basic principles of the way we invest typically always work. When I say always, I mean 99.9%.
You might not get your cash out tomorrow, but in the worst case scenario that's happening right now, you can hold, right? Like I absolutely love a nice big fat refinance, but I also love the fact that I can sleep tonight knowing that if I can't do a big fat refinance, then the property's still going to pay for itself, right?
And you'll have some money that you can put into your account so that when you need to replace the roof, you have it. At least it's there. You don't have to go from your hard-earned cash. You make $80,000 a year, whatever that amount is, and you have to pay.
But what happens if you don't? Right? What happens if you own one of these condos? Your sole strategy was Airbnb, and it was cash flow positive. Probably pretty cash flow positive by doing Airbnb. And you are also in maybe like a retail or a restaurant industry and you lost your job during COVID. And if you looked at it from a long-term strategy, you were eating a negative chunk of cash flow every month anyways on your purchase. And then you lost your job. So you now don't have the cash to cover that negative where a lot of people might. And your tenant profile doesn't exist because Airbnb doesn't exist right now. Well, they do, but it's not happening, right?
Yeah.
So you have to shift to long-term rental. At the same time that all the other Airbnb condo owners in the same situation are also shifting to rental.
Flooded the market.
Absolutely flooded. So many, and I did a few condo deals in and around the Liberty area, both on the lease and on the sale side. And it was amazing how many I would see on both the lease and the sale side. Like, shit, fuck, someone just take my unit and do something with it so I'm not drowning right now.
And now you see a lot listed in those two areas. So I chose City Place and Liberty Village because it's so unique that I think those are the two neighborhoods that were affected dramatically by price changes, both in the rental market and the purchase market.
All along King West, like
that whole
King
area.
West
It's all condos because condos are the first thing. Once you tell somebody that you have to be stuck in a 400 square foot condo for 5 months and you can't see outside and you're cooped up there with your wife or husband or whoever and you're both working from home and you're losing your mind.
That's the people that took our unit. Like when we left Liberty, that was a couple left a 400 square foot bachelor with their brand new 3-month-old dog and they were both working from home. I would go fucking crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
There's no way. But I mean, we were pretty much in the same scenario.
Yeah.
But it's like...
At least you had an outdoor area.
That's it. And we had...
It was more exciting. You just open your door and you're outside.
Big time the difference between being in a condo and being in like a freehold space or like a townhouse or something along those lines, right? Like part of the a lot of the new client calls are like, okay, well, how is Condo doing? How is Freehold doing? How are rents doing? And they just assume like rents and tenancy is the same across the board.
It's a total different game.
But it's so different and more so now than ever from the condo to the freehold side, because there's such like this exodus of people leaving condos. They don't want the elevator that has like a 40-minute wait time because there's 2 people allowed per elevator. They don't want to have to wear masks in their area. They want an easy step outside. They don't want a building that is potentially, one person gets COVID and then you're all in trouble kind of idea. So many more people are leaving condos and moving to the townhomes. And like I did a lease when we left, right? Our landlord owned 2 units, or he owns multiple units, the landlord from Liberty. But he was like, hey, do you want to lease this place? Because he knew it was an agent. And then he also gave me his other unit to lease, which was in a condo. One of the nicest condos in the entire neighborhood on King West, DNA 3. It's like known for being like the cream of the crop. And in a good market or even like a normal market, that would have been so easy to rent, right?
Yeah.
Put it up.
I remember this.
People are like fighting over it. Well, the flip side happened. The towns are kind of like an older, not well kept, like in Liberty. They're real old finishes. Mm-hmm. They have Kitech plumbing. Nothing's like
they're like from
bad,
what is it, early thousands?
Yeah, like 2003, 2006.
Yeah,
somewhere
that's
in that range.
You can tell.
Yeah, they're great spaces, and I loved having the accessibility to go outdoors. But like more so now than ever, if I were to come from a condo, I would need that. So when we listed the townhouse, that we lived in, 3 offers day one, like from a rental side, so competition. When we listed, that's a beautiful face. When we listed the DNA. The condo, it was like a month and a half of fighting, and we had to do work